Wrigley Field in Chicago. Wind blowing straight in off Lake Michigan. Around 9 o'clock this morning, Stoney was out for my morning jog. A brisk 43 degrees around the Navy Pier with the wind coming straight in. It hasn't gotten much warmer than that, although the temperature is supposed to rise as the day goes on today.
Well, Jim, I was very comfortable in my morning jog. I jogged from the car to Nookie's this morning for breakfast.
Sure.
And it was, I don't know, maybe a third of a K. But to me, it got my blood flowing, ready to go. I don't mind these cold weather, especially since you've made the executive decision to take out the windows. It's very comfortable.
There's no question. You got to be tough to broadcast. Unlike our counterparts from Colorado who have the windows shut, we're hardy souls ready to go. And it's part of our home field advantage to make them as uncomfortable as possible, which is also the duty, by the way, of Carlos Zambrano today against a Colorado team that's off to a pretty good start, considering, Steve, who they've lost to injury and the youngsters they have playing every day for them.
They're starting 3 and 4 rookies just about every game behind Clint Hurdle. And so this team that's always very good at home, and this year they're over 500, always struggles on the road, and that's why Colorado is 5 games in back of Los Angeles and San Diego. So the Cubs hoping to take advantage of it. This is just a great day to pitch. If you can get loose, and a starting pitcher usually is able to do that because he can dictate how long he's going to warm up, you should have a big advantage over the hitters, especially if you buzz a few of them in on their hands.
And Carlos, mind over matter, no shirt sleeves under that Cub uniform top. He's going at it. If it doesn't bother him, the Cubs should be in pretty good shape for Dusty Baker today, and they will face this Colorado Rocky starting lineup. Aaron Miles leads off at second base, followed by Royce Clayton at shortstop. Batting champion candidate Todd Helton hits in the number 3 spot. Then it's Charles Johnson behind the plate. Jeremy Burnitz is in center field. Then it's Holliday and Hoff, the 2 youngsters in the outfield, with another Luis Gonzalez playing third base in place of Vinny Castilla. And our old friend Shawn Estes will pitch and bat ninth.
There's a look at the numbers for Carlos Zambrano, making his 6th start. He's trying to win his 3rd game. The ERA real impressive at 2.78. Opponents batting just 231 off him, and he's kept the ball in the ballpark. He usually does that. He's given up just 1 home run. So the Cubs trying to go against the script that they wrote against the Arizona Diamondbacks. They want to score early in this one and make the other team play catch up.
So Zambrano ready to go. He's chasing down his 3rd victory of the season. He threw the ball as well as you can possibly throw it last time out against the Cardinals. Didn't give up a run, struck out 12 in 7 innings of work. The Cubs would take that performance from him right now against Colorado. They'll send Aaron Miles to the plate first. The young second baseman hitting .256 on the season. And a ball misses outside, 1-0.
Miles has been splitting his time at second base with Gonzalez, who's playing third today, so Miles is in the lineup.
Miles doing something you don't see young players or really any players do anymore. He's choked way up on that bat.
Well, there's a pretty good one that does that in San Francisco, and he's chasing the all-time home run leaders, and that's Barry Bonds.
.50 degrees, winds from the northeast, 15 to 22 miles an hour. Not sure what the wind chill is, but it's a lot lower than 50. I promise you that. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Always good to be talking about the wind chill here on the 7th of May.
The 2-2 pitch to Miles, and that slap toward third. Ramirez to his left takes care of the Colorado leadoff man. 1 up, 1 down for Royce Clayton. Look at the Cub defense.
And as we swing around, show you the Corona Cubs defense. It's Lou Patterson and Sosa in the outfield. Ramirez, Martinez, and Walker and Lee in the infield. Michael Barrett once again behind the plate. Carlos Zambrano on the hill. Damian Jackson has joined the Cubs, and he'll be available for some duties at shortstop.
Clayton takes a strike. Ron Culpa is our home plate umpire. And Clayton down 2 quick strikes now. 0-2 to the Colorado shortstop. Another area, Steve, where they've played very well, have these Rockies, is defensively. Clint Hurdle very happy with the glove work of his club.
Well, they're going to have to do it because with Walker and Wilson out, they lost big power.
3 pitches, takes care of Royce Clayton. 2 outs.
Carlos just whizzed the fastball by him. Not much finesse there. They just said, see if you can hit this.
Here's Todd Helton. 1 ball, no strikes to Helton, who's off to his usual 340, 350 batting average start. He's at 347 for the Rockies and tore us up last year, hitting over 400 against Cub pitching.
Well, Helton's 3 for 8 lifetime against Zambrano. And although he hasn't faced him all that much, along with Vinny Castilla, who's not in the lineup today, those are the 2 biggest numbers against Zambrano for the Rockies. Helton's a great hitter, but he's much more dangerous in his home park.
We've long said, or at least I have, that I think Coors Field may be the biggest home field disadvantage in baseball because it's such a great hitter's park. I would think it'd be very easy to fall into bad habits when you go on the road.
You just have to stop from pulling the ball on the road like you can do easily at Coors Field. Helton hits the ball well to the opposite field.
That one off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Todd Helton, the cornerstone of the Rocky franchise. He's under contract for a long time. He's not going anywhere. The 2-2 pitch is hit the other way by Helton. Funny hop. Ramirez handles. Low throw dug out by Derek at first, and Carlos has a 3 up 3 down top half of inning number 1. To the hill comes former Cub Shawn Estes here in the first. No score as we head to the bottom of our first inning. Let's take a look at Dusty Baker's Cubs starting lineup presented by our friends at Southwest Airlines. Former Rocky Todd Walker leads off at second base. Corey Patterson hits second. Then it's Sammy Sosa and Moises Alou. Aramis Ramirez at third base. Derek Lee coming off a 5 for 5 day yesterday over at first. Michael Barrett hits seventh. Martinez 8th and Zambrano 9th against our old pal Shawn Estes, who's off to a flying start for the Rockies.
Pretty good numbers, but the ERA is up there, and in Colorado they don't care about the ERA. They want to just win ball games, and if you stay around long enough in that ballpark in the course of the game, you got some speed on this team and they'll usually get you some runs. Estes was very good at the beginning of the year last year for the Cubs. And he seemed to run out of gas. If you remember, they didn't make him playoff eligible, and that still is kind of sticking at him.
So Todd Walker to work first. Shawn Estes misfires inside. Shawn, as you remember, started quickly, faded for the Cubs, but pitched the game of his life last September in Cincinnati, a game the Cubs had to have. And he threw a beauty against the Reds to solidify the Cubs' postseason hopes. And gives up a rocket to lead off the game. Todd Walker hits a bullet to right. Hop makes the 1-hop pickup, and Todd's aboard to lead off the ball game for the Cubs.
Last year against Cincinnati, Shawn Estes was just outstanding. He went the distance, gave up just 4 hits, and helped himself with the bat. So that was probably the best game he threw all year long. And if you remember, he was pretty much pitching for his existence in the starting rotation at the time.
Here's Corey Patterson. He takes a strike call over the inside corner from Estes.
You really wouldn't mind a bunt in this situation, although he's down 0-1. It's lefty-lefty, and you want to play for a run early because 1 or 2 runs might be enough today.
Walker a pretty good lead over at first. Helton checks him there, and Estes delivers a little ground ball to the right side. Miles picks it up. Patterson advances the base runner. Good at bat for Corey. Runner in scoring position for Sammy Sosa now.
For the game today, we had the pleasure of meeting Peter Capolino, who is one of the gentlemen responsible for the Mitchell and Ness Nostalgia Company, the makers of these beautiful jerseys we're wearing today on Ron Santo 1969 Jersey Day, and 11 other special jersey days, and most of them from years gone by are absolutely gorgeous.
Sammy Sosa hits for the Cubs here in the first, and John McDonough, Jay Blount, the entire marketing department for the Cubs, once again revolutionizing the memorabilia business as far as baseball is concerned. This is going to be a big hit all year long here, and it's coming to a ballpark across the country next season as well, I'm sure. 1-0 the count. As that pops away from Johnson, Walker didn't get a good read on it, can't move up.
Well, the fans here felt that he should have, and what happens is Johnson is so big that as a base runner that far away from home, you can't pick up the fact that the ball rolled that far away from him. Charles Johnson is having a much better year, but he lets this one get by. Now, had Walker taken off, there's no way Johnson could have gotten him, but he couldn't read how far it was going to roll away from him.
2-0 count to Sammy, who's hit Estes hard in his career. 2 home runs among his 6 hits. And with a 3-0 count, let's see if Sammy can swing away here.
Well, he got first base open. I would be surprised if he just laid a fastball, and he's going to try to keep it away, and let's see if Sammy gets a good pitch to hit.
Very generous outside corner. Sosa looked back, didn't think much of Ron Culpa's call there. 3 balls and a strike.
Well, hopefully that will not be the corner of the strike zone, because it looked a little low and outside. You saw Charles Johnson framing it, bringing it back into the zone. I would think that Johnson went to talk with Estes about throwing the ball off the plate. Maybe they can get Sammy swinging it a bad pitch.
3 balls, 1 strike. A rope hit towards short. Clayton knocks it down, scrambles to his feet, makes a great play. There's that Colorado defense we were talking about. Sosa robbed of a hit. Walker to third now with 2 men down.
That was a great effort by Royce Clayton, not only getting the ball, but righting himself, knowing he didn't have a play at third, and throwing a strike to first base. What an effort this is. It's a reverse pivot. You don't see that too often, and Clayton got it there in plenty of time. Clint Hurdle was ecstatic with the defense, and Shawn Estes, now that he's rediscovered a little better sinker, is getting a lot of ground balls.
2 so far in today's game, and now Moises Alou stands back in. Customarily, no batting gloves for Alou. Chilly day at the ballpark, and Moises trying to snap out of an 0 for 16 slide at the plate.
The guy that's really killed Estes is the man in the on-deck circle, Aramis Ramirez. Estes doesn't have a wild pitch yet. A lot of those curveballs wind up in the dirt.
Low and away to Alou. 2 balls, no strikes.
Here you look at Aramis, and Moises should see a good pitch. I'm sure Estes knows that Ramirez has killed him, and he doesn't want to get to him in this first inning.
Slowly hit towards short. Clayton gobbles it up, and the throw to first in plenty of time. Cubs get a leadoff hit from Todd Walker and strained him 90 feet away, and after 1, scoreless game.
Cubs baseball is brought to you in part by
IMAX with Max Kellerman premieres Monday.
Colorado to work in the top of the second, and Charles Johnson picks on the first pitch and grounds out for out number 1.
But one of the busiest men around is the guy coming up, and that's Jeremy Burnitz, because he's playing center field in Coors Field as a regular, and he's flanked by 2 rookies. Consequently, with all the ground you have to cover there, they think that Burnitz is going to burn out.
Well, he looks malnourished compared to the size we've seen him in that New York Met uniform.
He's still got pretty good power. And what he can hit and what Zambrano throws are the same pitch. Burnitz loves the ball middle in and down.
1 ball, no strikes to Burnitz, and that's out of play. To the Colorado center fielder. Burnitz, 23 career home runs. That's more against any major league opponent.
And he leaves nothing to the imagination. This guy swings as hard every pitch as anybody in this league.
That one over the outside edge. It's 1-2.
Last year he was at Binghamton, shortly in rehab for the New York Yankees, where he played. And then he went to the Dodgers. Hit a combined 31 home runs in the big leagues.
Fly ball, shallow right center field. Patterson and Sosa, who wants it? It's going to be Corey Patterson. That's twice on this homestand. Neither Sammy nor Corey has heard the other coming. Luckily, no problems. But Corey makes the catch for the second out.
Well, in that one, Sammy's got to give way because Corey is the captain out there. Sammy thought he had it, and he was in perfect shape to do it. But if you can hear the voice of the center fielder, give way. Now, Corey caught that one in the palm of the glove, and it almost slipped out. Both guys were calling for it. And fortunately, Although it wasn't caught with the majority of his glove, Corey did catch it.
That'll bring up Matt Holliday, hitting .355, and one of the fine prospects out of the Colorado farm system. He's a 7th-round pick back in 1998.
And he does have big power. He's a free swinger.
That one chopped to short. Martinez gloves, grabs, and guns, and Zambrano has another easy inning of play. This one the second. No score at Wrigley Field.
This will be the greatest war the world has ever seen. We need the greatest warrior.
They're waiting for me.
I won't ask you to fight my war. You already have. The loser will burn before nightfall.
Before my time is done, I will look down on your corpse and smile.
Take an official Wrigley Field tour. Visit the Cubs clubhouse, the dugout, the playing field, and more. It's a Cubs fan's dream come true. Call 773-404-CUBS today for ticket information and tour dates.
Tomorrow, Maglio Ordonez and the White Sox take their big bats north of the border. They'll face off with Carlos Delgado and the Toronto Blue Jays. It's White Sox Blue Jays baseball tomorrow at 11:30 only on Fox Sports Net. We head to the second inning of play, and here's the man of the hour, Aramis Ramirez and Shawn Estes, locking up here today at Wrigley, and Ramirez has hit him awfully hard.
Well, you'd figure by the way they're defending Ramirez that they're going to keep the ball away from him, because you got Holliday off the line, and sometimes it's an adventure on fly balls to left.
That ball was indeed away. 2-1 the count.
You see the defense? Burnitz is shading him into right center. That tells me that they believe that he's going to inside out it.
High and away, ball 3, 3-1. Derek Lee waiting on deck for the Cubs in a scoreless game. Game 1 of 3 over the weekend. Then we have an off day and then travel to the West Coast. And 4 wide ones sends Ramirez to first. Let's take a look at today's Walgreens Celebrity Bat Kids. If you'd like to be a Walgreens Celebrity Bat Kid, log on to walgreens.com/batkids. No purchases necessary. The Walgreens Celebrity Bat Kid contest ends August 28th.
This is not a day to walk people, because with the wind blowing in, you just want to let guys take their best shot and see if somebody can run under it.
Derek Lee, a career day at the plate yesterday. 5 for 5, drove in 5.
He's never hit a home run against Shawn Estes. And the trick with Estes is trying to get the ball in the air these days. He doesn't have a high riding fastball anymore. He has a sinker.
Ball 2, 2-0.
This was a huge day as Derek topped it with a 3-run homer and a 5-bagger, which really did wonders for his batting average.
And the Cubs beat the Diamondbacks, Steve, so badly they didn't even bother to show up to play today.
Well, you can't blame him. I mean, it was a beating. Though the Diamondbacks managed to take 2 of 3.
That doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. Let's not talk about that. 2 balls and a strike. Way upstairs to Derek Lee. 3 balls and a strike from Shawn Estes.
Well, this also is somewhat surprising, because you got Luis Gonzalez playing right on the line at third base. I guess they're going to go inside to him. With the defense, if Derek looks at it, he should realize that if Estes had a choice, he'd rather stay in. Now, 3-1, you just have to get the ball over the plate.
He can't. 2 straight walks opens up the second inning. That'll bring up Michael Barrett. Out of necessity, with Alex Gonzalez on the disabled list, Michael has moved from the number 8 spot to the number 7 spot in the Cubs batting order. Seems like a subtle difference. Usually in the National League, with the pitcher hitting behind the number 8 hitter, you don't see lots of gaudy numbers. Barrett was hitting over 300 as a number 8 hitter, has struggled hitting 7th, believe it or not.
Well, he has to keep the ball off the ground, because this infield can really eat up anything you hit seemingly hard.
Estes changed speeds nicely there. Strike 1 to Michael Barrett.
times Miles has had some defensive problems, especially on balls to his right. So if you take it up the middle, it's not necessarily going to be 2.
Ramirez and Lee have good speed. They're aboard on a chilly day. And Michael showed bunt. That's well off the plate. We'd like to welcome our affiliate Insight Communications and their viewers in Canton, Illinois, to our first look at the Colorado Rockies at Wrigley Field this year. A ball and a strike. Slow roller, that might be 2. Funny hop to Miles. Clayton turns. Barrett flying down the line, beats the play. Cubs have him now first and third with 1 out.
Just plain hustle on the part of Michael Barrett, who has better than average speed for a catcher. This is a chopper to Miles. He makes a pretty good throw. And you see Lee going into second base trying to disrupt the timing of this play. He forces Royce Clayton to go well off the bag to get the throw off, and now runners at the corners, only 1 out. So an RBI situation for Ramon.
He's knocked in 2 this year and sports a .250 batting average. First and third. Off the plate, Zambrano, a good hitting pitcher, waits on deck. Catches the corner, a ball and a strike.
Well, I got to tell you, that outside corner is way out there, so hitters better beware. Ron Culp is calling the ball about 3 inches or so off the outside corner, and you figure Estes would try to stay there.
A ball and a strike to the Cubs shortstop Ramon Martinez. Again, it's off the plate. Rockies got Charles Johnson from the Marlins. The end of the 2002 season with Preston Wilson, with Vic Derensburg, and with Pablo Ozuna for Mike Hampton, Juan Pierre, and cash.
A lot of cash. Although CJ and Preston Wilson making pretty good money.
Barrett's running. The Johnson throw is terrible. It hit him in the back, and a run's going to score. That ball sailed on Johnson, and the Cubs score a cheapie here in the second inning.
It's going to probably go as stolen base E2. And a surprise party for the Rockies. Barrett takes off. Ramirez scores as the ball bounds away. And that's a great jump by Michael Barrett. This is a bad throw. I thought that might have gotten him on the side of the face.
So he's in scoring position and a 3-1 count. Cubs have scored the first run of the game, and Estes has issued his 3rd walk of the inning. This at times was what happened to Shawn when he pitched for the Cubs last year, and quickly out comes the Rockies pitching coach Bob Apodaca. So Carlos Zambrano will hit with 2 on, still 1 out, and the Cubs manufacture their first run of the day. That's something we haven't seen a whole lot of, Steve. This is a Cub offense that's built to hit and score with the home run. Here in the second, with the wind howling in, they've taken advantage of Estes' wildness and Johnson's wildness behind the plate.
And this is a team that steals begrudgingly. They had stolen 7 bases coming into that one, been caught 5 times. But Michael Barrett, with his first stolen base of the year, it comes at a good time. Charles Johnson throw got away.
Let's see if Carlos now can add to the Cub lead. The Cubs have scored a run here in the second without benefit of a base hit. Pickoff play to second, and back easily is Michael Barrett. All the other baseball under the lights tonight. All eyes will turn to Turner Field in Atlanta, where the first place Astros take on the Braves tonight. The Giants are in Cincinnati. Milwaukee visits New York in Central Division play.
Now most most third basemen give the signs in the infield. But with a rookie there, Todd Helton gives the signs here.
Estes delivers with Clayton standing at the second base bag. A huge hole on the left side of the infield was exposed, but it's fouled away for a strike.
Well, normally, if Estes had seen Clayton, he would have stepped off, because you don't want your shortstop standing on second and nobody home on the left side. This is a pretty good chance for another pickoff throw at second base.
No balls and a strike. Again, Clayton atop the bag, and Zambrano lays it down. A high hopper. Estes has one play, and it's close, and they just did get Carlos Zambrano at first. The sacrifice very effective, however. Martinez in scoring position. Barrett to third, and Todd Walker hits with 2 outs.
Real good bunt by Zambrano, who hustled down the line. His first sacrifice of the year. And he puts it in a good spot. Estes, looking at third briefly, realizes he has no play. Both men move up 90 feet.
Let's see how carefully they work with Walker and then Corey Patterson. Todd singled very early in the first inning.
At this point, there's no comparison with how Walker's hitting and Corey's hitting. I would be very surprised if he left something out over the plate to Todd Walker. Corey's still a relatively young player, and Walker is pretty hot. He's been hitting a lot of line drives.
Cubs are 11-5 this year when Walker has a hit. And that ball hit him. That's twice inside. He got hit, and that one smoked him. He's not happy. Bags are full now with 2 out.
Yeah, I think you could tell by the first pitch that he wasn't about to give him anything to hit. So, taking the philosophy that I'll hit you before you can hit me, Walker's on first base. That one got him right in the back of the right elbow. And that's got a really smart. Of course, you know, hitters are a macho breed. No way he's not going to rub that. Are you kidding me? He hardly felt that.
Corey Patterson looks at a ball off the plate. Chance to break this game wide open very early. Bags are full of Cubs again without benefit of a hit.
Well, missing with the curveball the first pitch, Corey should be looking fastball. And this is one of the times when you got to jump on something early. If he gets a fastball, this will be a good pitch to swing.
Look at where Burnitz is playing. And that's where Patterson hits it. Left center field. Ball tailing away from Burnitz at the track. He handles it, and he slams into the wall. Can't find the ball. It's at the base of the wall. In 2 runs, 3 runs are going to score. Burnitz had it, hit the wall. The ball dropped, and Patterson at second with a double. And let's see if Burnitz is all right. Oh, what a play in left center field.
Corey got the fastball. He hit the daylights out of it, even into the wind. Jeremy Burnitz just went straight at that gate in left center and had a tremendous collision with it. And hopefully he's going to be okay. He had the ball in the glove, and then it got knocked out when he hit the wall. So the ball is in play. The rule states you have to take it out of your glove with control. He doesn't have that. And Corey drives in 3. He got the fastball he was looking for. And as you can see, that wall here comes into play a lot more quickly than it does in Colorado.
You talk about profiles and courage for an outfielder. Burnitz showed it right there. He took a whale of a shot. You look at that wall out there, it might be dented. I mean, he had it in the leather. He'll tell you after the game he should have held on, but he was running with a full head of steam and ran straight into the wall, and the Cubs get 3 runs as a result.
This shows you how strong Corey is. He takes it almost to the wall, opposite field, into the wind. And to the credit of the base runners, they kept on going, not knowing if Burnitz was going to come away and show it out of the glove. So the Cubs have a 4-run lead, and it's largely due to the lack of control from Shawn Estes.
3 walks and a hit batsman. So 4 runs on 1 hit, and here comes Sosa with 2 outs. Sammy robbed of a hit by Royce Clayton. His first time up.
You can only hope that at bat will show Corey what I'm sure Sarge Matthews has been talking to him about for a long time. There's as many hits in left center as there is in right center, so go with the pitch. Don't try to roll over the top of everything. Cubs have 1 through 7 in their lineup in double figures in runs batted in.
Way upstairs to Sosa. 3 balls, no strikes. A 4-run lead early with Zambrano on the mound for the Cubs. Shawn Estes gunning for his 5th win, has a high ERA, and they'll go ahead and walk Sosa. 4 walks for the Cubs batsman in this inning. That one intentional. Here's Alou with 2 out, the 9th man to hit the inning.
With 4 starters, Clint Hurdle has 8 members of that bullpen to call on. He said patience is one of the things that you have to learn when you're at Coors Field. He said there are times you want to go get a guy and you realize that you can run through your bullpen and decimate it in a hurry. And with 4 starters, they have lower pitch counts these days.
Alou hits with 2 on, 2 out. And that one served into right center field. That ball's going to drop. Burnett will try to cut it off. He does. In comes Patterson. Sammy will stop at third. Moises Alou with his first base hit in 18 trips. That scores Corey, and it's a 5-0 game.
Moises 1 behind Ramirez for the team lead in runs batted in. He took that sinker away and dropped it into right center field.
Here's the man that started it. Ramirez walked.
And the Cubs pouring it on here.
And Estes has missed consistently to everybody today. 4 walks and a hit batsman. 5 runs on 2 Cub hits. And that's in there to even the count. I thought it was interesting listening to Clint Hurdle's explanation as to not only why they go to a 4-man staff, but as a manager, how you have to have the courage of your convictions and keep guys in maybe a little longer than you should. This might be an example of it. Another hit for Ramirez. That scores Sosa. The throw comes through to third, and it's not in time. Head first slide for Alou. It's 6-0.
Well, there's nobody up in the bullpen, so that shows you that Clint Hurdle has patience. But right now, the Cubs are clobbering their former teammate, Shawn Estes. RBI number 24 for Ramirez. But just as soon as Moises gets close to him, he gets into the act. This low fastball driven into right center. Everybody meeting at the mound. There's not much they can do with Estes and nobody warming up in the bullpen. Now, Burnitz has a right fielder's arm in center. He has a very strong arm, and they let the throw go through, but Moises just barely beats the play with Dale Scott on the call.
So Derek Lee hits for the 2nd time in the inning. Talk about a game of inches. Burnitz catches the ball. Patterson hit. The inning would have been over. Instead, the Cubs have poured it on. A high pop. Watch the wind play with this. Miles at second. Staggers but makes the play. What a big inning for the Cubs. 11 men come to the plate. 6 of them score on 3 hits.
Buick Truck Fest. We're not just
show period. Weeknights on Fox Sports Net.
Well, friends, the Cubs encourage use of public transportation coming to and from Cubs games. The CTA's Red Line stops right here at Wrigley Field at the Addison Station for night and weekend games at the ballpark. Fans who choose to drive should take advantage of remote parking operations. They offer parking at DeVry
University
near Addison and Western for only $6. That includes a free shuttle bus ride to and from the ballpark. For all more details, call the CTA hotline at 773-836-7000. And we have a very special guest joining us, a man of Mitchell and Ness. Peter Capolino is here with a Another wonderful promotional item, the Ron Santo jersey. Peter, great to see you.
Thank you for having me up here. This is one of the most exciting days of my sports history life, to be up here. And I actually walked on the grass at Wrigley. You know, I don't think I ever want to leave.
Brad Hoffa hits a ground ball to third for the first out of our third inning of play. Zambrano getting a lot of ground balls today.
Well, we've had a number of the promotions so far. My favorite, the 1908 jersey, I think is just gorgeous, Peter. And how did this come about? I know the Cubs have exclusivity in baseball right now, and next year it'll probably be open to everybody, but how did they come to you and say, let's do this? This sounds like a good idea.
John McDonough was really the creator of it. And when John realized that we could present content and uniform history for him, he took it and expanded it. So really owe a great deal of appreciation and thanks to John and what he's doing for the Cub fans through our uniforms.
And we want to thank you because you presented me with my 1976 Cub jersey, which is absolutely gorgeous, and Chip with a 1932 World Series jersey, a Cub jersey. And Chip, although that's the Ron Santo jersey, as we know, it also has been shared by a couple other players over the year. Yours looks a little different than mine.
Well, you know, we are very big fans, Peter, of the retro look. But I must have gotten the one and only Steve Lake jersey.
Well, he was number 10, you know.
Right? Let's get our fans at home another good look at this. All right, there.
Maybe we'll do a limited edition.
It was very limited.
It's very limited. I like the black tape. It's
now there's the man
that good look.
Wore number 10 proudly. We can try to get the shot one more time. We'll see if he notices himself in the monitor. That's when Ronnie wonders, what are they saying about me over there?
Oh, no, we've always said that if Ronnie ever had his hands injured, he could never talk.
Peter, where else do you plan on taking this retro look in Major League Baseball?
Well, we've had some talk from the Cleveland Indians, who have a great history. My favorite team is other than the Cubs, is the St. Louis Cardinals, which do a lot of historic jerseys. But we would love to see the New York Yankees introduce how their pinstripes came about and the name of their team originated, and do the history of their jerseys too.
Well, growing up in Cleveland, if you ever decide that you want to do an Al Rosen 1954 World Series jersey, I would be in line for that. He was one of my favorites. He had a wonderful pitching staff. I know they were swept by the Giants in '54 after winning 111 games. However, still a beloved team, and nice-looking uniforms, as I recall.
Nice-looking uniform, great team.
Luis Gonzalez rolls out for the second out of our third inning of play. And this has to be thrilling to you as well, Peter, from the standpoint of historically speaking, making the youngsters aware of the greats who played the game and what they went through, what they did, and certainly no one personifies that more than that man, Ron Santo.
Well, Ron Santo and Billy Williams and Ernie Banks and Ferguson Jenkins, all the great players of the Cubs era in the 60s. These jerseys help bring back those memories to the kids. And the kids find them very fashionable. You two guys don't know it, but you'd be very, very hip in the hip-hop world of rap music.
Well, rap is Steve's life, as we know.
That's my middle name.
You should see his rap sheet. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 to Shawn Estes. Well, Peter, it's always a thrill to relive the glory days of Major League Baseball, and we're so grateful for the prior jersey. We love the 1908 Cubs jersey, and this one certainly special for us and for Ron Santo. He's a beloved character at Wrigley Field, and we wish you and Mitchell and Ness all the success in the world, and can't wait for your next good-looking jersey here at the ballpark.
Thanks for letting me visit with you, and I'm going to continue enjoying this game. I'll be here tomorrow. This is a very exciting weekend for me.
Peter Capolino from Mitchell and Ness as we celebrate Ron Santo Jersey Day here at Wrigley Field in Chicago.
Free to move about the country. Wearing a seatbelt is smart. So is switching to 21st Century for auto insurance, the one with the red seatbelt. 21st offers more standard features than any other top insurance company. Towing and roadside assistance is included at no additional cost, and new customers save an average of $300 a year. Wearing a seatbelt is smart. Wearing this one might be even smarter. 21st Century. More features, less money. Since 1958. Call 21st Century Insurance Company at 1-800-211-SAVE.
Reversing the flow of the Chicago River is an engineering wonder. Just like the V8 Power Suburban in Tahoe.
He said his lines. We should give him his lunch back then.
It's Truck Fest. On a 2004 Suburban in Tahoe, use bonus cash for $4,000 total cash back, or choose 0% APR for 60 months for qualified buyers.
Where's my fruit snacks? Hey, come back here.
Introducing Arby's new Market Fresh Low Carbies Wraps. Try the Market Fresh Turkey Ranch and Bacon with fresh sliced turkey and the Market Fresh Ultimate BLT with pepper bacon. They're loaded with flavor, not carbs. Try low carbies at Arby's.
Sunday, join Ron Kittle, Joe Girardi, Kevin Kennedy, and Steve Stone for Chicago Baseball Extra. It's the only sports show you need on Sunday night. Chicago Baseball Extra, Sunday at 10 on Fox Sports Net. All Cubs, they have a whopping lead of 6-0 as we head to the bottom half of our third inning and the lower third of the order coming up.
But what's the odds out of all the great number 10s that wore throughout the years Cub uniforms that you would get the one that said Steve Lake on the back?
I'm honored to have it. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Those days, as you know, you didn't find too many names on the back. That's a beautiful 1932 World Series jersey.
That one's dandy. Check this out.
Number 3 on the back.
Michael Barrett lashes that on a play. Well, this isn't it. We're not just saying this because Peter was here, but this is going to be one of the best promotional items in Major League Baseball next year. And once again, it starts here with the Chicago Cubs. John McDonough, Jay Blunk, the marketing staff began the Beanie Baby craze. This one I really like a lot because it brings back the heritage of our national pastime to youngsters who may not have been familiar with Ron Santo or Kai Kyler or the 1908 Cubs. And that's a real good thing to keep our national pastime the great sport that it is, despite the problems we see from time to time. Barrett aboard, leading off the third.
Well, the Cubs are going right with the pitch, and that's one of the reasons why they've had success, that and the wildness of Shawn Estes. But you can see most of the Cubs are going right back up the middle with that sinker, so they came in with a pretty good game plan, knowing that Estes was going to stay away from them. Instead of trying to pull it and grounding to the left side, they're taking it to right center and up the middle.
Another shot toward right. Helton can't glove it. It's a foul ball. Regardless, a strike to Ramon Martinez. Shawn Estes walked 4 men in that second inning, hit 1 as well. He's done that a couple of times in his career, including once for the Cubs against the Chicago White Sox last season. But a very different looking Cub offense today. 6 runs on 5 hits, and they've manufactured a bunch of the runs.
Well, it's also a very young team for these Colorado Rockies, with Wilson and Walker out of the lineup due to injuries. So for them, the loss of that power means that it's real tough for them to come back from big margins in games. That's why with Zambrano on the mound, things looking real good for the Cubs right now.
Barrett the runner at first with nobody out. Martinez down a strike. And that paints the corner. 0-2. The Rockies enter play this afternoon, tied with Arizona, 5 games behind the Dodgers and Padres. LA at 17-10, San Diego 18-11 on the young season. Giants 6 back 3 games in a row. San Francisco has lost. They can't get on track out west.
Well, that sinus infection for Barry Bonds isn't helping them very much. And the Cubs will see the Dodgers and Padres on this next road trip, so they're going to see firsthand how improved those 2 teams are.
Mets beat the Giants, swept them as a matter of fact, beat them 2-1 in 11 innings yesterday. All 2 strikes to Martinez. Big breaking ball is beaten past Gonzalez at third.
I'm not sure how far Clint Hurdle wants to go with Shawn Estes. Even on a 4-man rotation, he doesn't have a whole lot here today.
Well, that 85 pitch count mark might come before the 4th inning the way it's gone for him to this point.
But with nobody out, Ramon takes a curveball through the left side. Gonzalez doesn't glove it. You figure Zambrano's going to be bunting. Again, you have to watch the pickoff move as these guys go into the rotation play.
Gonzalez fumbles for a moment, but makes the throw to first. Zambrano has his second sacrifice of the game. Barrett to third, Martinez to second. And back to the top we go. Let's see if Todd Walker can exact some revenge. Estes hit him in that second inning.
That one took a funny hop. Luis Gonzalez made the play, and it paid dividends with the sacrifice bunt in the second inning. Let's see if the Cubs can make the Rockies pay here.
Out goes Johnson to talk to Estes. First base open. They've got Patterson on deck. Do the Cubs, who've wrapped out 6 hits. And we're still just in our 3rd inning of play. That's a ball low. 1 ball, no strikes. Johnson with 4 gold gloves, by the way, behind the plate. Those were won while he was with the Marlins, then Los Angeles, and now in Colorado.
The last year was a down year for Johnson both ways, with the glove and with the bat. You might as well just put him on first base because he's not going to pitch to him.
And if he hits him again, Todd's not going to be real happy.
Yeah, he didn't want to hit him last time, but he got it too far inside, and he's thrown 3 pitches nowhere near the plate this time.
3 balls, no strikes. It's ball 4. Walker's on base percentage fattening by the moment. He's been on 3 times now. That is 5 walks for Estes.
As a leadoff hitter, Todd Walker leading the league, and 3 times on base and 3 at bats today, and not going to hurt him any. Here comes Clint Hurdle. That means the bullpen's going to loosen up as Corey Patterson gets to hit once again with the bases loaded. It's the Turk. That's what you need on a day with the wind chill factors in the 30s. A cooling glass of water over your head.
He should have been left-handed, I tell you.
I'm pretty sure he is. He just happens to throw right-handed.
He's a beauty. Remember, we saw him a couple years ago. He has a necklace made out of mountain lion claws.
I think it's turkey claws.
Oh, he went mountain lion hunting and he got lost.
Well, it's, you know, mountain lion knows where he's going.
Only Turk. But Clint Hurdle, as Steve mentioned, with 8 guys in that bullpen, there's no shortage of work for those fellas in the Rockies bullpen. 1 ball, no strikes to Corey Patterson. His fly ball was caught by Burnitz, who slammed into the left center field wall. The ball dropped, 3 runs scored. Patterson a double and 3 RBIs.
After falling behind 1-0, Corey got a fastball out over the plate. Burnitz has the ball in the glove and lost it on contact. That looping curveball almost hit Corey in the head.
Shawn Estes doesn't have an idea where the ball's going today. Two balls and a strike. Well, he's he's going to see
another fastball.
A good pitch here.
This is another one he can turn on and work on that RBI total. It's up to 13 with the 3 last inning.
High hopper. Miles has only 1 play. It's to first and in time. Patterson grounds out. Give him his 4th RBI of the day. That scores Barrett. Martinez to third. Walker to second. And the Cubs lead by 7.
14 driven in by Corey Patterson. Now last time they didn't want any part of Sammy Sosa. And Moises Alou made him pay the price with a base hit. I would first base open here.
I would think they've seen enough Cub base runners for a while. And that one had Sammy backing out of the box. Strike 1 to the Cub right fielder, Sammy Sosa. Base hit. Martinez scores. Around third comes Walker. He will score. It's a big Cub lead. 9-0.
Sammy's gotten to the 20 mark and runs batted in. And so far, Shawn Estes has taken up pelting. And here comes Turk Wendell. Another former Cub. And that'll be it for Shawn. He will not survive the 3rd inning.
Estes was crushed today. 9 runs come in 2 innings and 2/3. His ERA will climb like the Rocky Mountains. In comes Turk Wendell. Cubs 9, Colorado nothing. 1998 was Sammy Sosa's MVP year. Tomorrow, the first 20,000 fans get a scratch and win card. 100 random winners get a Mitchell & Ness Cooperstown Authentic Collection 1998 Sammy Sosa home jersey. Compliments of ConAgra Foods. Fans are encouraged to hold on to their cards for second chance drawings throughout the game. No purchases necessary. For complete rules, visit Cubs.com. Turk Wendell is in now.
Well, you can see these Rocky pitchers do appear in some games. And throughout the year, they will appear in a whole lot of them.
That one down the left field line, but out of play, foul. Moises with an RBI single back in the Cubs' 2nd inning of play.
Real tough day for Shawn Estes. And he's still responsible for Sammy Sosa on base. Moises cracks the bat. We'll go back for another. Turk Wendell, the man of many sliders. He throws a bunch of them.
1 ball, 1 strike. Out of play, foul to Alou. Last year pitched with the Phillies. 56 games for them. Won 3, lost 3.
There was a time, Chip, when he was appearing in the 70s every year, and then he hurt his arm, had surgery. Now he's on the comeback trail.
Flew an F-16 fighter jet, did Turk. And Alou fouls that off his foot. Flew with the Thunderbirds for 1 hour and 15 minutes. Apparently, Wendell holds the record for the most G-forces sustained in a fighter jet among non-pilots. How about that for an obscure stat? It's in the book. 9.4 Gs.
I don't think I'd like to even approach that. It's not a great record to hold.
Well, you know, hey, it's in the book. What can I tell you? Dirk a couple weeks shy of his 37th birthday. And a real fun guy to talk to. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
He came up with the Atlanta Braves, but came to the Cubs as a very young pitcher. With more than a few idiosyncrasies.
Licorice and tooth brushing, I remember clearly. Alou missed that slider you spoke of, and Wendell puts out the fire in the 3rd. 3 more come across, however, for the Cubs. This time on 3 hits and 1 walk, and it's a 9-0 game. Which 2 Cub players hold the record for the most career 5-hit games? We will have the answer for you when we head to the bottom half of our 4th inning of play. It's all Cubs, 9-0. Colorado has yet to have a man touch first base today.
I would say Alou would be one of them. Sure, he's had more than a couple of those. Now, are those players on the current team or
That's
just
the question? Otherwise, I'd have said Billy Williams, Ernie Banks.
Very, very vague terminology. So I have to disqualify myself.
Because you don't know?
Right.
It's all time.
Oh, well, see, that's a horse of a different color, as they say.
Well, since we're honoring him, I would imagine Steve Lake's on that list.
You think it could be Ron Santo?
Could be. Zambrano blows away Miles. Boy, that high and away fastball has really paid dividends for Carlos, especially in that Cardinals series. And he has his 2nd strikeout here today.
Well, he always had a good sinker. That's a 2-seam fastball, and his 4-seamer, the one that just takes off upstairs, is thrown in the mid to high 90s. He can get up there 98 if he wants to.
Royce Clayton was retired on 3 pitches his first time up. And that's the 4th straight strike Carlos has thrown him today. The sky's starting to brighten here at the ballpark. Cloud cover moving away. Wind still a factor. But again, we told you the temperature's supposed to rise for the weekend. It's an unexpected chill today.
With the wind blowing in and Carlos throwing like he's throwing, the only thing he has to protect against and not get this wind is slipping down the dugout steps.
6 pitches to Clayton, 6 strikes. 2 men down in the 4th inning.
I'm sure he's really enjoyed the offensive aspect of this game. Carlos threads the needle. This is a real good pitch. It's not a generous outside corner. That ball had most of the plate. Royce, who lives in Scottsdale, by the way, in the wintertime, and is a very nice fellow. Take a seat.
Strike 1 to Todd Helton. Helton bounced out to Ramirez his first time up. Had the Cubs not been in a position to draft Kerry Wood, you're looking at the man in the batter's box they would have drafted.
You know, you haven't mentioned that he has a perfect game. Was that kind of a superstition thing?
No. I just said at the start of the inning, nobody touched first base. Whoa, where was that? That just missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That was a backdoor slider that Carlos is working on. He never used to throw that. And he just missed the outside corner. If he throws some heat on the outside corner, you got to watch left center.
Sharply hit. 1 hopper to Martinez. The throw to first and plenty of time. Yes, Steve, it's a no-hitter. It's a perfect game heading to the bottom of the 4th.
Eastern Conference champs are back at it again. DeMarcus Beasley and the Red Hot Fire will be put to the test when they take on the Wizards in KC. Fire Wizards tomorrow at 7:30 on Fox Sports Net.
Let's revisit our Aflac trivia question. Chilly day at the ballpark in which 2 Cub players hold the record for most career 5-hit games.
Well, I'm going to say Billy Williams and Pete LaCotte.
I'm I'm going to say Jose Cardinal and Camp Anson. Are we right?
How about Rob Spearing and Dave Rozzello?
It's up and in to Ramirez. He gets hit.
Well, he wasn't trying to hit him because that was a slider, but it doesn't make it feel any better.
I'm going to change my guess then to Jeff Blauser and Sandy Martinez.
I'll say Larry Bittner.
Enough.
And Carmen Fanzone.
Well, I'll raise your Carmen Fanzone to Billy Williams and Sammy
There
Sosa.
it is. Billy Williams and Sammy Sosa, only 3. I mean, it's not real easy to get 5 hits. And Sammy's got a chance to get another one of those Cub records before it's over.
Wendell delivers a strike 2 to Derek Lee. Fun day at the park to this point. All Cubs 9-0 over Colorado.
I still believe George Mitterwald should be on that list. You know, he also wore number 10.
And wore it very proudly.
Scott Bullitt.
One of my favorite stories of UT's and our pal Ronnie. 1-1 pitch. That pops away from Johnson, and no advance from first. Ronnie had this beautiful Cubs jacket, red, white, and blue, and black leather with the number 10 on it. Came to the ballpark on a day a lot like this in 1998. I was not fully aware of the
Cub lore,
shall we say, love-hate relationship that the two of you possess with each other.
At that time, the love was waning, the hate was on the rise, but that logo was the size of the sun, if you remember. It covered his entire back.
The size of the on-deck circle.
Yes.
So, first the pitch. So, Ronnie walks in. Hey, how do you like my jacket? And, of course, Ronnie has number 10 on everything. On the sleeves, the back, the sides, all this stuff. And he said, they only made 2 of these jackets. Steve said, yeah, you and Luis Salazar, right? What are you doing in his jacket? Off-stormed Ronnie yet again. They talked to the Dobermans. That's off the plate. Ball 4. 2 on, nobody out.
Well, he sure is proud of that uniform he wore for so many years, and proud of the fact that the Cubs have retired his number, that it's on the left field foul pole, an area where Ronnie used to continually pull the ball foul. And there is...
Is that why they put it down that line?
That's exactly right. He never hit the ball to the right side of second base in his entire career, I don't believe. He was a very dangerous pull hitter.
Especially for the fans sitting over the Cub dugout. Here's Barrett. That's inside ball 1. We just, of course, and Ronnie did get some wonderful news earlier this season. The Veterans Committee has cut their list of players down to, I think, 100 or 200 now, and Ronnie is...
Yeah, he's going to make the final cut because he was 3rd last time in total votes. And hopefully this time when they vote, he'll get in.
Barrett shoots that ball to right. That's an easy play there for out number 1. Hawk makes the grab, and there's 2 on, 1 away for Martinez.
Ramon's going to get some play. Damian Jackson is going to get some play. Jackson will give the Cubs an added dimension because he's always had real good speed, and if you missed it, Alex Gonzalez is going to be lost for up to 2 months. The time you can't really determine quite yet. So Damian Jackson, who is a base stealing threat, has come up, and he'll split some time at shortstop with Ramon.
2 on, 1 out for Ramon Martinez. That begs the question as that's lined over third and into left field. Ramirez around the bag, gets the green light. He's going to come home to score, and the Cubs have a 10-run lead. 7th time this year the Cubs have scored 10 or more in a game. They did that 9 times all last season. What punishment Colorado's pitching staff is taking today. And remember, it's not Coors Field. It's a great day to pitch.
But they've also done it in a way that they haven't done it too often. That is, score all of these runs without hitting the ball out of the ballpark. So it's been a homerless 10 for the Cubs.
Last evening, I had the pleasure of listening to your fine work on Kaplan and Waddle's show on WGN Radio. And
well, they had you in studio.
Well, I was just...
you were a captive audience.
I was an unpaid observer. Ground ball to the shortstop. 1 there, and the flip to first is in time. Good stretch by Todd Helton. The question is, will the Cubs make a trade for a shortstop? I'll let you ponder that as we go to break. 4 in the books. Cubs by 10 over the Rockies.
Excuse me, but I was looking for the show.
Fox Sports Net.
Time now for a Pontiac in-game update. I'm Gail Fisher inside the Fox Sports Net newsroom. No day baseball today, but we do have some NBA news to report. Tim Floyd was fired after one season as coach of the New Orleans Hornets. The Hornets went 41-41 in the regular season and were just eliminated by the Miami Heat in the opening round of the playoffs. Floyd, who was hired last summer, had a hard time maintaining control of a team that had a lot of injuries and some chemistry problems. No word on a replacement or potential replacements at this point. Now let's send it back to Chip and Steve.
Gail, thank you very much. No problems to this point for Carlos Zambrano. He's perfect through 4 innings. And as Jack Morris used to say, it's tough to lose with 10. That's the lead he's got as we head to the Colorado 5th. And Carlos has been very, very consistent, although just 3 decisions this year for the Cubs. He very well could have been 4-1 coming into this game as well.
But, you know, this is a real easy pitching staff to be overshadowed. When Pryor and Kerry Wood are 1 and 1A, a lot of people don't realize just how good the stuff of Carlos Zambrano is. But he showed it to the St. Louis Cardinals last time out, and today is just an extension of that. He's got 3 strikeouts through 4 innings. Nobody's really hit the ball particularly hard. The Rockies are having a hard time even hitting the ball in the air against Zambrano. So this is a guy who throws everything and everything moves. He's got a great command of the sinker. He throws a slider. He's got a forkball. He's now throwing a high fastball that rides. He gets it up to 98. So the future really is unlimited for him. He's got a chance to be one of the greats in the league.
Charles Johnson out of play, back toward the press box, and a strike to him. I can't think of a pitcher that the Cubs have brought up in a long time that is such a prototypical pitcher for this ballpark.
Oh, it's great because you have a hard time hitting the ball in the air, and his sinker not only dips, but when he throws a 2-seamer, it dives into the right-handers and they get tied up.
0-2 to Charles Johnson, who wants to try to alter the rhythm Zambrano has going. The 0-2 pitch now is well off the plate. Now that you've had time to ponder that Mike Wallace-like query before we went to break, do you see the Cubs making any moves to acquire another shortstop, or will they go with what they have in your estimation?
Well, I can only guess at this point because I haven't really talked to Jim Hendry about it. I mean, he's always on the lookout to improve the team. But there's no way in the world at this point, with this team having yet to put it together, knowing he's going to get Pryor back, that he would give up the young pitching that a real good shortstop would bring. And most teams now, Chip, are just trying to figure out if they're going to be in the race or out of the race. So what's available is probably an older, high-priced guy or 2. I mean, Vizquel has made 6 errors this year, and he would be one of the guys that would probably be on that list.
Johnson toward third. Ball stays down for Ramirez. And the throw in plenty of time to get him for out number 1. And, you know, this is, again, with no disrespect to Macias or Martinez or Damian Jackson, but everybody knows now that that's an area the Cubs might be looking for to get even a stopgap shortstop. You're probably going to still have to pay a king's ransom, and that's not something you want to find yourself in position to do very frequently.
No, and teams are still vying for a position. There's still some teams that believe they can be contenders this year and might not want to part with their guy.
Ground ball. Derek Lee handles that. Perfect flip to Zambrano. 2 outs in the 5th inning. Burnett's retired. Still nobody on base for the Rockies in this game.
Carlos has made it look easy.
10 ground ball outs, 3 strikeouts. Only Burnett has hit the ball in the air.
And he didn't hit that ball very hard. You keep hitting it to that guy, and probably 99% of the time you're going to be out.
That'll bring up the first of the trio of rookies for the Rockies. Matt Holliday rolled out to short his first time up. He's overpowered with that pitch. 0-1 your count.
Like so many youngsters, he does not have that great a command of the strike zone just yet. Carlos took advantage of it with some high heat.
Over but low to even up the count. Well, the sunshine started to gleam here at Wrigley Field today. Nothing else that'll make it seem a little warmer than it is. Real raw, windy day. Holiday, I don't believe, offered at that ball. 2 balls and a strike. first time today, Carlos has had an unfavorable count with which to work. 3-1 now.
This will be the tip-off to see how good the stuff is, because he's going to throw a fastball. And if Holiday beats it into the ground, you know it's really moving.
He beats it into the ground and through for a base hit. So the youngster worked the count to 3-1, knew a fastball was coming, and hit it to a perfect spot. And that ends the no-hit perfect game bid for Zambrano with 2 outs in the 5th inning, and the crowd to its feet in appreciation.
Now you'd think that Derek Lee would be behind Holiday at first base, just to get a little better angle in case Brad Hopp pulls it that way.
Strike 1 to him. Hopp rolled out to third his first time up. Nothing in 2 now. Wasted high and away. 4-1-2 count. Was good enough. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That was that backdoor slider once again that just missed the outside corner. Pretty much an unhittable pitch.
Blew it right on by. Zambrano has his 4th strikeout of the game. He's allowed just 1 hit as the Cubs hammering the Rockies 10-0.
Special day, not only because the Cubs have a big lead, but also because 100 lucky fans get these wonderful Ron Santo 1969 jerseys, and Alex Geyser is one of the lucky ones. And you actually know, even though you're 13, all about Ron Santo. Tell me.
5 Gold Gloves, 1969, 1969 edition of the jersey. He played third base, and he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. You're going to submit a couple of ballots, talk to your local politician, making sure it happens?
Yeah.
How'd you get out of school here? School's still in session, isn't it, up in Northfield where you're from?
Yeah. We actually said that we were doing something else, and now we're here.
Uh-oh, well, you got a very nice dad. Enjoy the rest of the game and enjoy the jersey. Looks great on you. Chip, Stoney, back to you guys.
All right, Eric. Hey, man, don't sell out the kid. What's up with that?
Well, now he'll be probably in summer school detention for the next 12 years. Or he'll have to go into the student protection program.
There's no question. Todd Walker leads off the Cubs 5th. And he hits that ball towards second. Easy pickup for Miles. And there's out number 1 in our Toyota Fan of the Game inning. Our contestant today, Brandon Kane of LaGrange Park, Illinois. If the Cubs score in the 5th, Brandon wins a Fox Sports Net Toyota prize package, which includes a hat and a t-shirt. That youngster knew an awful lot about Ron Santo, though. And again, that's the point we were making earlier. It's great to see the youngsters reflect and remember the great heroes of days past, not only in Cubs history, but baseball history.
Well, being one of the legendary franchises with roots that go back to 1876, before Custer's last stand, by the way. There is a lot of history to know if you're a Cub fan.
Did he get credit for a blown save in that last stand?
I'll tell you, as it worked out, he was just a few cavalrymen short.
I would say so.
You went to the pen and there was nobody home.
The old joke, what were his last words? Look at all those darn Indians. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Corey Patterson. 10-0. Cubs have a big lead here in the 5th inning at home.
Well, it is hard to believe that the Cubs played their first game 7 days before Custer's last stand.
Wendell hustling off that mound.
And that's something he's always done. I remember As a Cub, he's a very good athlete. Good fielder. This would hang the occasional slider. But there's a few of us that did that.
Doesn't make you a bad person.
Nope, indeed. The Rockies always a much better team to play on the road than in their park.
Well, the hitters would disagree. They love going there. Hitters love going to Coors Field. The Cubs will have a chance to do that starting in August. August 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Then we go to San Francisco. Cubs have a lot of short trips. That's good. The bad thing is you have a lot of short homestands. That's not so much fun. Out of play, 2-2.
But we're still looking for that off day at home. There's the upcoming schedule. The next two in this Rockies series will be on WGN, and then after the off day, we'll take on the Dodgers and the Padres at Petco.
Patterson down on strikes. And there is out number 2. Here comes Sosa. He's got 2 runs driven in today and has scored 1 as well. Sammy celebrating an anniversary today. It was 12 years ago today he hit his first home run as a Cub.
It was a few after that, too.
Remember who he took deep the first time as a Cub?
Don Cardwell.
No, not that long ago. Okay, Don was a good pitcher. Now it's Ryan Bowen.
Of the Houstons?
You got it. 2 balls, no strikes. Now Sammy's first ever home run, I believe, was against Roger Clemens while he was with Texas and Roger was with the Red Sox. So we'll have a couple of shots to do it again, I'm sure, when we see the Astros, who are in front in our division by 2 games.
You can't wait for those games. Cubs, Cardinals, Cubs, Astros, pretty good.
Popped up out of play. Full count now to Sammy Sosa, who has 1,999 career strikeouts. By the way, 2 other men in history have struck out 2,000 times. Galarraga and Reggie Jackson. Back up the middle. Wendell upset. He thought he should have made the play. A one-hopper, and Wendell slams the glove to his knee as Sosa has a 2-hit day today.
Turk was flopping around on the mound like your goldfish used to do when you used to take him out of the bowl. That one almost knocked him off the mound. Come on, Turk, shake yourself.
Here's Moises. He has an RBI single today.
That's a real good fielding position to be in.
I wonder what Maddox thought of that.
Greg usually catches everything that comes near him.
That's tipped off of the Colorado catcher Charles Johnson, a ball at his strike. The 1-1 count is well off the plate. Want to wish a happy birthday to Beth Stencil, the lovely wife of Mark Stencil, our font coordinator today. Beth's celebrating the 20th anniversary of her 20th birthday today. So many happy returns to Beth Stencil today. The pitch to Alu is well off the plate. Ball 3, 3-1. Moises got the day off yesterday for the Cubs. And he hits that one high to left, but the wrong day to do that. Holiday will come charging in, and he'll make the shoulder high catch to retire the side. Wendell keeps the Cubs off the scoreboard in the 5th, but his Rockies trail it 10-0.
Sports talk like never before.
I'm up in the ante.
Diverse guests, smart analysis, and challenging questions.
IMAX from New York with Max Kellerman premieres Monday on Fox Sports Net.
Colorado's 6th inning underway. Luis Gonzalez jumps at the first pitch. 3-hopper to shortstop, and Ramon drops it.
I think that has to be an error.
It's only the second Colorado base runner. Reaches here in the 6th inning. Luis Gonzalez made this team as a Rule 5 player for Colorado. They plucked him off the Cleveland Indians roster, and they've played him all over the place, and he's played very successfully for them.
Ramon was having, I think, some problems getting his footwork and the transference from glove to throwing hand. Turk Wendell's a decent hitter.
He too without the batting gloves, and as you would expect him to do, a right-handed pitcher hits left-handed.
Told you he was left-handed.
And he's using Shawn Estes' bat.
Didn't get a lot of use today.
1 ball, 1 strike. Two. Shawn Estes last year with the Cubs early in the season, one of the more memorable moments from our off the field travails together. Shawn coming back from San Francisco with the team
and the Bulldog.
Had a Bulldog puppy on the team plane. He did not know how to get the Bulldog from San Francisco to Chicago without going absolutely crazy. So he did what all parents of young toddlers do on the plane. He gave the dog some Benadryl.
Well, it stopped the rash from spreading. It also knocked that dog out like he was hit with a hammer.
It didn't move for 15 minutes before we landed. The dog woke up the happiest thing you'd ever seen in your life.
Oh, that's a great dog. That's what I asked Shawn about. He said the dog didn't make the trip to Denver. He stayed in Phoenix. Apparently he's a warm weather dog.
2-2 to Wendell. Little roller. Let's see if the Cubs can turn a pair. One there, 2 there, and Wendell hits the dirt again. Turk might want to get a pair of spikes a half size smaller. He's having trouble keeping his feet.
Well, give him some credit. He hustled down the line. I think Turk figures, look, you're going to be out here for 3 hours, sometimes a little longer. You might as well give it everything you've got. They get him, and then you're stepping on the foot of Derek Lee, or kicking him in the heel, actually. Turk goes down.
Pretty good form on the head first slide, though.
Yeah, but it was 30 feet by the bag.
2 outs for Miles, bases clear, and that's in. Nothing in 1.
Carlos is going to throw a lot of double play ground balls if he can get some guys on to throw the double play, because they're having a hard time hitting the ball in the air.
That one in the air, but well foul. 1-2 your count. I mean, the way this game matched up, taking Shawn Estes out of the equation. Wind blowing in, Carlos Zambrano, no Wilson, no Walker. You figured Carlos was going to have a pretty good time today. I'm not saying throw a 1-hit shutout, but he's been just beating the ball in the ground. Ramirez, a perfect throw, retires the side. No runs, hits an error, none left. Middle of the 6th inning, it's all Cubs, 10-0.
The average driver spends a mere 1% of the time in reverse. Yet considering what's at stake, that's 1% we didn't want to ignore. The backup camera, available in the Lexus RX 330. At your Chicago area Lexus dealer.
Ordonez and the Sox head north of the border to take on Carlos Delgado and the potent offense of the Blue Jays. White Sox, Blue Jays, tomorrow at 11:30 on Fox Sports Net.
the Saturn Ion with dent-resistant side panels.
Saturn of Elmhurst, 505 West Grand Avenue in Elmhurst.
You'll find exceptional Cadillac values during the spring inventory sell-off at Maury Edelson Cadillac. Get $2,500 to $3,500 Edelson discounts, $1,500 Conquest incentives, $750 Smart Lease incentives.
Didn't even need blue makeup. That's how cold it is at the ballpark today. And afterward, we'll have the Cubs post-game show with all the highlights and analysis of today's Cub victory with Gail Fisher and Dave Otto. Don't miss the Cubs post-game show after our game on Fox Sports Net. Two changes defensively for the Rockies. Denny Hocking takes over in center field. Remember, Jeremy Burnett slammed into the wall out there. We'll try to find out if that's one of the reasons why he came out of the game. And Kit Pello is in to catch. As we move along to the bottom of the sixth. Macias will bat for Ramirez now as the Cubs get some of their starting players out of the game on a cold day today.
You got to get these guys some at-bats. Sit on the bench for a while, you don't have your rhythm, you get some at-bats. In a game that's on the line late, it's going to pay dividends as Macias, a switch hitter, getting an opportunity to improve on his 1-for-1 as a pinch hitter.
I believe they said Pello's going to hit fourth and Hocking fifth. Double check that. As the Cubs hit here in the sixth inning. Productive day for Aramis Ramirez. He scored a couple of times. He should be pretty fresh for game 2 of the series tomorrow. It's Greg Maddux and Jason Jennings. That'll be a WGN telecast at 1 o'clock. Greg's thrown 2 terrific games in a row. Jennings has had all kinds of problems with walks, hits, and runners on base for the Rockies. Same problem that befell Shawn Estes today. Macias, a rope to right.
2 for 2 as a pinch hitter. I think Greg is probably feeling that if they get him 10 with the wind blowing in like this, he should be in good shape tomorrow.
Couple of walks and a pop out for Derek Lee today.
That's that Wendell slider that stays in the middle of the plate, and left-handers have particularly good luck with it.
Again, all the other baseball tonight. The White Sox will visit Toronto. The White Sox with a 1-game lead in the American League Central over Minnesota. Toronto 10-18, 7 games behind Boston in the East. The Yankees finally had their long win streak snapped last night. They're only a game back, but have won 8 of their last 10.
Those are the 2 real disappointing clubs, Toronto and Kansas City in the American League. Both figured to be a lot better and both off very slowly. Now, both of those teams have enough talent where, because it's this early, they can make some big comebacks. Both have been very inconsistent on both sides, both pitching and the offense.
2-strike pitch to Lee. And he fights that ball off. In the West, Anaheim by a half game over Texas. Anaheim's reeled off 6 wins in a row. The Angels now 19-10 on the year. That's their best start in over 30 years. Remember, a couple of years back, they won the World's Championship. Got a real good team this year, too. You know,
Troy Gloss has been terrific, and they added Vladimir Guerrero.
And Bartolo Colon.
Yeah, pretty good team.
We'll see them on the road this season. In fact, the Cubs will visit them June 11th, 12th, and 13th.
And Arturo Moreno's done a great job taking over that team, make it more fan-friendly, biting into some of the popularity that has been the Dodgers low these many years. He's got a great manager in Mike Sosa also. And Bill Stoneman has done a great job in the front office. That Anaheim team has some of their homegrown guys like Troy Gloss. They've gone out and made the most of their acquisitions. Artie Moreno spent a lot of money to get that team a contending position this year.
And they've done it with Garrett Anderson hurt, who's had some back problems too, which is a testament to the depth of that Anaheim team. A lot of folks thought Anderson would have a shot at the MVP in the American League this year. Real underrated player.
Well, they have the hammer at the end too in Troy Percival.
That ball shot by Barrett to left, over the head of Holiday. He didn't think that was going to get to him that quickly. Around second and stopping at third is Macias. Michael Barrett, a 2-hit day today. A straight-up double.
We told you at the beginning of the game that Holiday some problems at times with fly balls. Now, he hasn't played in this ballpark. He doesn't know how the wind is going to take just about anything, and this ball just kept on going. Many times you get a sinking line drive. This one just was a rocket. He hits it over the head of Holiday, who really had no chance at all, and it turns into a two-base hit.
That'll bring up Ramon Martinez. He's been on base 3 times, has scored twice, and has knocked in a run. Colorado with Helton even with the bag at third. Gonzalez a step behind it over at third base with 1 out in the bottom of our 6th inning. Maybe the most surprising team over in the other league would have to be the Texas Rangers at 18-10. They've won 12 of their first 16 games at home, and that's all after trading Alex Rodriguez.
Well, they're getting some tremendous pitching, and that's been the big surprise. They're winning some games 4-2. How about their new shortstop, who is their old second baseman?
Michael Young, pretty good player. Fly ball center off the bat of Martinez. Hocking will drift back. Glasses gleaming, makes the catch. Tagging is Macias. He will score without a throw, and the Cubs have an 11-run lead. Hit Martinez another RBI today. No advance by Barrett at second.
Well, Ramona's doubled his season total from 2 to 4. He'll get a chance to improve on that, because even with Damian Jackson here, Ramona's going to get some playing time, and he is a pretty good player.
Nice round of applause for Carlos Zambrano.
Well, the Cubs put the W on the board, and you certainly would think that they will with this lead. And they become big Braves fans as the Houstons are in Atlanta.
1 strike pitch to Zambrano is fouled away. They're watching us on the North American Sports Network in jolly old England today. Bob Shukai is enjoying our telecast today. He's a resident of St. Louis. That's Cardinal country. Bob, it's never too early to overcome that flaw in your personality. 2-strike pitch, sharply hit and handcuffed Clayton, but he recovers and gets his man. Wow, what a play by Clayton at short, who's dazzled us twice with his defensive prowess. Another run across in the 6th inning for the Cubs. It's an 11-0 game.
We're here in this auto graveyard to demonstrate New Finish, the once-a-year car polish.
Simply wipe it on, wipe it off. No rubbing, no buffing. New Finish restored a deep, hard shine even to this weather-beaten car. We polished this car with New Finish and ran it through 52 car washes. Even after heavy-duty detergents and powerful scrubbing, the water still beads. New Finish.
New Finish, available at Pep Boys, Dollar General, Ace, Walgreens, AutoZone, Kmart, and other leading stores.
ESV, the biggest, boldest Escalade ever. Cadillac, breakthrough.
Take advantage of 0% APR financing plus a $1,000 bonus offer toward any new 2004 Cadillac Escalade model.
Americans are hardworking people, but they also treasure their free time. That's why most people have outdoor power equipment with high-performance Briggs & Stratton engines inside. They start easily and have the power to get the job done quickly. In fact, they've been helping Americans make the most of their free time for nearly a century. So be sure there's a powerful Briggs & Stratton engine inside. Briggs & Stratton, the power that works for you.
IMAX with Max Kellerman premieres Monday.
Well, Steve, it's been a real rough day at the plate for Royce Clayton. He's made 2 terrific defensive efforts, but he's been set down pretty easily by Carlos Zambrano today.
And that's our Midas pitch by pitch, and they all were strikes. So 2 at-bats, 6 pitches, 2 strikeouts.
So changes for the Cubs now as we head to the top of the 7th inning. Todd Holland
Farnsworth in left, Tom Goodwin in right. Damian Jackson makes his Cub debut. He'll play second base, and Jose Macias is over at third. The seventh inning, Royce Clayton finally sees a pitch out of the strike zone.
Yeah,
1 ball, no strikes.
That's a step in the right direction.
But he swings at the next pitch and rolls it to Macias. Ball stays down, throw up to Lee. One man down in the seventh inning, and in just a few moments, the mellifluous voices of Pat Hughes and Ron Santo will join us for Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And personally, I can't wait for the interview. Here's Todd Helton. He's 0 for 2.
Me neither. Ronnie is psyched up and ready to go. Boy, it's really hard to tell he's in the booth.
Yeah, no, he's very quiet, respecting the very sensitive TV microphone.
They can hear him on Sheffield. Have you been loosening up your voice, Ronald?
Yes. Is this going to be it? I mean,
no, that's his mic.
No, you're going to use, this is the mic that is going out over the air, so use this one. They won't hear you in the stadium, but fans at home will be very happy.
Well, you know,
exactly.
I've got Patrick here who has the better voice.
I don't think Pat's coming to the booth
yet. It's like riding a bike. You know what I mean, Steve?
You just never forget? Once you're one of those Italian tenors, you never forget?
I don't appreciate, he should use his own stuff. The Steve Lake came from you.
Yeah, I can't believe it either. To me, it's an egregious amount of disrespect.
First chance for Jackson at second, and he takes care of Todd Helton, who's grounded out 3 times.
You know, I frown upon that kind of behavior. I frown upon that kind of behavior.
Yes, I know you do. And first of all, I want you to know it was perfect when John McDonough called me and said the 2 Dobermans are let out of their cages. I really worry about that.
Kit Pello's going to stand in now with the bases clear and 2 men out.
We're very excited.
Whoa, that one got away.
We're as excited as Kip Pello when he saw that ball right at his coconut.
Carlos Zambrano throwing a 1-hitter today. Perfect conditions to pitch for the sinker balling right-hander for the Cubs. Rockies hit the ball in the air, I think, once today. And the barrel of the bat sails in between Macias.
He's using Larry Walker's bat. I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
When's he coming back, by the way?
They really don't know. They don't know about him. They don't know about Preston Wilson. Talking with Clint Hurdle, he just said they have no timetable because we can't set one that would be realistic. We're letting them come back at their own pace, and that's a big loss for this Rocky team.
Did you ever break a bat in half like that?
No, I never broke a bat because I didn't make that much contact.
I'm talking about your pitching.
Oh, no. I didn't throw hard enough.
1 ball, 1 strike. Pello digs back in, hitting .259 for Colorado. Pretty good cut at that ball, but he's down 1-2. Weather's supposed to warm up over the weekend. That's good news. It was a real raw day at the ballpark today.
Was it Chip's or your decision to take the windows out?
It was Chip's decision, just like I know it was Patrick's decision in your booth. The color men,
hey, Pat, as we like to do before the game, teamwork.
Yeah, that's great. Knowing that it probably wouldn't be cold again after that day and a half of spring we had here.
You know, Pat, they don't make retired ball players like they used to, do they? It's brisk. It's great. 2-2. Strike 3 call. Folks, the great voices of the Chicago Cubs. Pat Hughes, Ron Santo here for Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Hi, everybody. I'm with my partner, Pat Hughes, and this is for all you wonderful fans. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back for it's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. We got enough runs. Let's win this ball game.
Hi, I'd like to order a deep.
Next might be Mr. Cub, but Ron Santo sure is Mr. Cub too. Ronnie and Pat Hughes, fine voices of the Cubs on WGN Radio, join us today at Wrigley Field. Fellas, nice day at the ballpark today, huh?
Chip, it's even better now that the Cubs are leading by 11 runs. But Carlos Zambrano pitching magnificently, and Chip and Ronnie and Steve, the starting pitching for the Cubs is tremendous, and I think it'll only get better when Mark Pryor comes back.
Well, there's no doubt that it's been real good today, and I can't believe that they have as many runs up on the board with the wind blowing straight in. Ronnie, when you had a day like today, and you had to go up as a hitter in your day where they threw a lot more pitches inside, how difficult was it to hit?
Well, if you were out in the mound, it wouldn't be that difficult. But with Don Drysdale out there, it was very difficult. No, it really, on a cold day today, Steve, definitely, I think a pitcher has an advantage. I'm with you. I am so surprised we scored 11 runs on a day like today.
Well, Ronnie, it's a happy day for you, not only because of your jersey day, and it's really a gorgeous jersey. It's just exactly like the one you wore in '69. But you also got your dog yesterday, your French-Canadian dog. Now, yes. Is he saying anything, barking, doing anything?
He's not speaking French.
No. You established that early?
Well, my wife picked him up at the airport, went through customs, the whole ball of wax.
Did he pay any duty?
He's 2 years old, and he is yet to bark. He's a beautiful, beautiful dog. He's the most beautiful dog I've ever seen. He was a show dog. So he's got to learn to become a dog now. You know, go out there.
Well, hanging around you,
he's going to show you some
for
things that you've never seen before. When he starts barking in French, how are you going to handle that?
I'm going to tell him to shut up. No, he's kidding.
Pat, I got to ask you a question.
Yes,
we know
Chip.
about Ronnie's great cinematic success in this old Cub. Has Ronnie changed since he's become a big-time movie star?
Well, I think he changed probably when he was on the all-century team for the Cubs, and now he's changed even more.
Right,
He's just a continuously evolving kind of a guy.
Do you have to now become a member of SAG?
No.
Because I noticed there are some things sagging.
Well, there's some things missing, not sagging. You'd settle difference. There's a big difference.
But thanks for asking, Steve.
They're showing some great highlights of you, Ronnie. Take a look. There you are.
Oh, yeah, some of the...
In the glory days.
The movie, yeah.
Well, there's a shot we got to show you.
Look at this.
Oh, my gosh. That's when I was 21 years old.
And you told us that you were voted the best-dressed player in the league, or people thought you were the best-dressed player in the league?
Absolutely. That was
dressed
in the
like
70s.
a flood victim, for God's sakes.
I really, in the 70s, I looked a lot like Pat when he joined us.
Is that a good thing?
Well, I mean, who voted you best dressed?
I did.
Yes.
Well, that's obvious. Look at this shot we got.
There you go.
I mean, come on, Ronnie. Look at this. I mean,
oh my gosh. I mean, are you ever going to get rid of that?
No.
Well, look at that coat. That was the 70s. The check on check.
Yeah, that's the best. You know how many polyesters died to make that coat?
How about the sideburns? Go
Yeah,
to the
that was
barber.
something. I didn't have much on top, so I had to grow it down that low.
But we're heading to Los Angeles at the end of this homestand, Ronnie, and you and Jeff are going to be on Dennis Miller Live, I understand. Is that true? To promote the movie?
I understand it's going to be this coming Tuesday, and we're going to be on Dennis Miller's show. I don't know if it's going to be that evening, but we're going to do the show on that Tuesday.
Well, we can't wait to see that as always, fellas. Great to see you guys. A lot of fun. Great day at the ballpark, Ronnie. And congratulations on a wonderful day at the ballpark.
Thanks, Jim and Stone.
All right, Patrick.
Okay, Pat.
Here we go to the 8th inning for the Colorado Rockies. It'll be Denny Hocking leading things off. Hocking, a former Minnesota Twin. The Rockies have just one hit in the ball game today. Shawn Estes started for the Rockies, had all kinds of control problems. Turk Wendell came on, restored order, but by then it was much too late. A little roller to the right side. Another ground ball out. Jackson takes care of Hocking. One away.
Chip, we're in the 8th. There's been one ball hit out of the infield. There's our 4-game summary. Corey Patterson having a big day. That cleared the bases. And the hit parade continued as the Cubs have pounded out 11 runs, 11 hits. Has been offense, and Zambrano is the big story today. And Carlos has been superlative.
That's lined and speared by Lee. Matt Holliday is robbed of a hit. When it goes your way, it really goes your way. And Zambrano has him mesmerized. There's your second out.
Well, there's a lot of folks that said, when is he going to hit? Hee-Sop Choi has 9 home runs, and Derek Lee's not doing all that well. Look, there's a lot of aspects to this game. And defensively, he's saved a lot of runs. He's got good speed, and he will be a very productive hitter before it's over.
Here's Brad Hopp. He's 0 for 2. Carlos Zambrano has a one-hitter, folks, with 2 outs in the 8th inning.
And the only out recorded by the outfield was by Burnitz on a soft fly ball for the second out in the 2nd inning. That's been it. Every other ball in the infield.
That one hit a mile high to right. Back goes Goodwin. He's on the warning track and he hauls it in. That ball was hit a long way, and that's the 3rd and final out of the 8th. 11-0. Your score.
Super sub: Todd Walker, Todd Hollinsworth, Ramon Martinez, or Tom Goodwin. Give us your vote and we will have the results in the post-game show. First, though, let's send it back to Chip and Steve.
Hi, Gail. Thank you very much. There is your story. Cubs 11, Colorado nothing. Carlos Zambrano chasing down a one-hitter for the Cubs today.
Vladimir Nunez has had a pretty good run out of the bullpen. You see the record. Opponent's hitting just .220. That's awfully good when you're wearing that Rocky uniform, and actually awfully good when you're wearing any uniform.
And their bullpen's been pretty good for him, to be honest with you. Coming into play today, their pen on the road, a 3.26 ERA and a 3.81 ERA at Coors Field. Todd Hollinsworth pops that ball up. Wynn pushing it, still pushing it, and pushes it into the 3rd row of seats. The last Cub one-hitter was May 25th, 2001. Kerry Wood one-hit the Brewers.
They've never one-hit the Colorado Rockies.
The day before Kerry turned that trick, John Lieber did it to Cincinnati. So we'll see if Carlos can turn the trick as we get set for the 9th inning in a moment. First things first, former Rocky Todd Hollinsworth digs in. A lot of fun with Pat and Ronnie. It's great to see them, and
it always is a lot of fun. And I think people don't realize, and it truly is this way, that we folks who don't participate on the field but travel together, it is like a family. In fact, you're with most of these folks more than you're with your family. And that was kind of interesting. He swung and missed and shattered the bat. There was no contact on that swing. That shows you how strong he is. Take a look at this. There's no contact. Well, maybe a little contact. I thought he got it right off the end of the bat, and the bat just shattered. That's a pretty big bat to kind of dissolve like that.
Well, yeah, on a cold day, that
Can't possibly feel good at all for Hollingsworth. But Todd will dig back in at 2-2. What a pickup this young man has been for the Cubs. Another cue ball shot. That's fair ball. Todd didn't run. That's not going to make the fans here happy. He thought it was going to roll foul. He never ran to first, and he's out number 1. 2 unassisted. The put out as Kit Pello pounced on it quickly.
Watch it again. You'll see it does indeed stay in fair territory. Heads up play by Pello.
Here's Jose Macias. He singled and scored in the 6th. All Cubs today 11-0. More fun tomorrow. Maddox and Jennings on WGN. Another shot by Macias. He's 2 out of 2. We talked about it on that last road trip to Arizona and St. Louis. The Cubs bats were slumbering a bit. Dusty Baker said the only way you can get out of a hitting slump is to keep on swinging. Today they've done it to the tune of 12 hits.
Well, you can tell, although it's still very early in the season, the Cub bench this year is as strong as it's been in a long time. And that's the only way that you can absorb all of these injuries and still keep your team afloat.
Another broken bat. That one ricochets into the stands. Boy, oh boy. Nunez is sawing off the Cubs here.
That one split pretty much down the middle.
It's like a flying punji stick.
Watch it again. Off the end of the bat, and Derek is left with just the handle. Boy, you have to be so careful in the seats, as that one goes whirly-birding back.
But he's all right, though. That's the good news. 0-1 the count to Derek Lee.
What'd you say? Gonna be 85 tomorrow at the ballpark?
Call me 85. Not a doubt in my mind.
It's a good thing we've got these windows out.
That's it. We know it's sweat to do. 2 strikes, the count to Derek.
So because of this big victory, and it is a big victory today.
Yes.
Winners of 2 in a row. I'll be more than happy to take you out. You prefer Le Big Mac or Le Whopper?
High fly ball into center field. Hocking will come in, make the play.
Wrong day for that.
Yeah. 2 outs. I'm just so happy that you're offering to pay. It matters not. I will let you choose.
Also eat as much as you want.
Beautiful. That's never a problem. May 20th, the first 20,000 fans get a scratch and win card. 500 lucky winners get an MLB authentic Billy Williams Rawlings autographed baseball. It's compliments of MBNA. Fans are encouraged to hold on to their cards. You might win on a second chance drawing throughout the game. There's no purchase necessary. For complete rules, visit Cubs.com.
For some of you folks that don't know, that HOF is Hall of Fame 87, the year that Billy went in. And those are authenticated signatures. Sometimes you just don't really know with the memorabilia craze. If you get it here at Wrigley Field, you can take it to the bank that Billy Williams did indeed sign him.
I think John McDonough and Joe Rios sat in the Cubs marketing department, not only watched Billy sign every ball, they took photo documentation of every ball. So somewhere in the Cubs archives there is proof that they're authentic baseballs. 1 ball, 1 strike to Barrett. A good day for him, hitting in the number 7 slot. 2 hits and 2 runs scored today, and a stolen base. 1-2 your count to Michael Barrett today. Braves host Houston later on tonight. The Cardinals are in Montreal. One ball, 2 strikes. They don't bother to hold Macias over at first base.
Well, that's one of the things that's kind of the unwritten rule in a blowout like this. If they don't hold you, you don't run.
It doesn't matter. Michael down on strikes. Vladimir Nunez with some good work out of the bullpen gives up a hit, nothing else. Time for Zambrano to polish these guys off. He's got a 1-hitter.
Maybe this.
Carlos Zambrano today, as he chases down his second complete game shutout. He's thrown a 1-hitter today.
Carlos Zambrano is our Hyundai player of the game. And you can see why. That is the hit. That is the sum total of the Rocky offense.
And that was Matt Holliday, who got a 3-1 count in the 5th inning. He hit a clean single to left for the only Colorado safety. In fact, Colorado's had just 2 men on base today.
Make that 3.
Luis Gonzalez gets drilled, so he'll go to first base. And Sweeney will hit for the Rockies with 1 on, nobody out.
That one caught the elbow, but I don't think it caught him flush. Sweeney, a veteran of many a major league season, always been able to hit off the bench, and a veteran left-hand pinch hitter usually can find a spot. Mark Sweeney also lives in Scottsdale in the wintertime. Do a lot of charity golf tournaments together. He won a ball game for him the other day, and I asked him about it. He said, well, you got to do that once or twice a year, then you get that non-roster invite to spring training, and then you make the team when somebody gets hurt. Good plan.
Ball too low, 2 balls, no strikes. Gonzalez at first, Sweeney in the box. The top of the Colorado order waits next.
It's not an easy job to sit around all day on an ice cold day and then come out trying to hit a guy that's been out there all day.
He hits that ball hard to left. Hollingsworth surrounds it, makes the grab for out number 1. Shawn Estes didn't have it today for Colorado. He was hoping to have a happy return to Wrigley Field. It didn't work out that way for him. Shawn gave up 6 runs, 3 hits in the 2nd inning, and that told the tale for him. He walked 4 men in the frame, hit a batter. For all intents and purposes, that was that.
Well, he would have had to have been perfect today. No one knew that when the game started, but Zambrano's been that good, and that's just hit number 2.
Miles singles through the hole on the right side cleanly, so Colorado first and second with 1 man out. Royce Clayton 0 for 3 today.
Well, Royce Clayton can be excused if he doesn't like seeing the Cubs. There's the second hit. Royce Clayton has never had any luck against the Cubs. If you look at his career totals, I would say against Chicago pitching, it's been difficult at best.
That might do it. Jackson to second 1, Martinez to first 2. Carlos Zambrano, a 2-hit complete game shutout as the Cubs blast the Rockies in the series opener. Final score, Cubs 11, Colorado nothing. And Steve, from start to finish, Carlos Zambrano overpowering yet again for the Cubs today.
Well, he didn't have the big strikeout totals, but he doesn't have to. The sinker ballers just want to get guys hitting the ball into the ground. Zambrano was able to do just that. A very impressive performance, a 2-hit shutout, the second complete game shutout in his very young and what will be his very fine career.
So Zambrano, the winning pitcher, now 3-1 on the year. Shawn Estes takes the loss. He falls to 4-2. And the Cubs got ground ball after ground ball today off the bats of this vaunted Colorado offense. And Carlos Zambrano, the distance today before 37,000 delirious fans at Wrigley Field. For Steve Stone, Chip Carey from the ballpark. Gale and Dave are standing by with the happy highlights of an 11-0 Cub victory today.
Thanks, Chip. Cold and windy at the yard, but Cub hitters were hot. Hear what Dusty Baker has to say about today's performance. He joins us live. With the wind blowing in, you wouldn't expect 10 runs or 11 runs for that matter, but today Wrigley Field seemed more like Coors Field, only the Rockies didn't feel at home. And some NBA news to report. Former Bulls coach Tim Floyd may be looking for work again. It's all on the postgame show next.
Fox Sports Net's coverage of Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. Non-stop service to 59 destinations all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. Your Chicagoland Pontiac dealers. Heineken, it's all about the beer. Heineken. Comcast, proud to be Chicagoland's cable company. Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Nobody makes whiskey like Jack Daniel's. And by Hyundai. When your car comes with America's best warranty, you win. Hyundai.
A Attention, shoppers. We have Chicagoland's best produce because it's always fresh.
Fresh like a Chevy Impala sedan with best-in-class highway fuel economy.
Nice.
The word is out. On a 2004 Chevy Impala, get 0% APR financing for 60 months for qualified buyers. Or choose $3,000 cash back.
Is that guy going to smell every cantaloupe? Looks like it. You don't want that one. Okay.
The void is now filled. A half hour of sports talk like never before. I'm up in the ante. Diverse guests, smart analysis, and challenging questions. It's just my opinion, but I'm right. I'm Max from New York with Max Kellerman. Smart, funny, and always opinionated. Premieres Monday on Fox Sports Net.
Excuse me, are you happy with the choices in your 401ks?
When my only real choice was company stock?
I've had 5 jobs, so 5 401ks. Who knows?
I'm happy now. I rolled over my old 401ks to TD Waterhouse. Thanks, guys.
Choice lets you diversify. At TD Waterhouse, they offer CDs, stocks, bonds, and thousands of mutual funds, including 1,500 with no transaction fee. If you want more choice, choose TD Waterhouse, the alternative to higher-priced brokers like Merrill and Schwab.
They call me Captain Firewall. Your division got hacked last night. There's a worm running wild. Did you ever think about content management or incident planning, El Capitan? They call me Captain Firewall.
They do. Are you triple locking the front door but leaving the back door wide open? Call Forsyth today to become a real security superhero.
Captain Firewall needs more.
Forsyth, delivering the business value of IT.
Now, this is the ATA Chicago Cubs postgame show, live from Fox Sports Net.
The Cubs score 11 runs on this windy day and that wind blowing in, but they beat the Rockies 11-0. Hello and welcome into the Cubs ATA postgame show. Gail Fisher alongside Dave Otto. You wouldn't expect this kind of run total in a game or a day like today with that wind blowing in.
The Cubs showed great patience early in the game against Shawn Estes, made him throw strikes. He was not able to throw strikes, and Carlos Zambrano with that early lead just went out there, took the ball and ran with it. Another dominating performance for Carlos Zambrano. He was flat out filthy.
And a lot of these runs were on more like ground balls. Corey Patterson, of course, hit one in the air, but with that wind blowing in, and these are 2 ground ball pitchers, you would expect to see a lot of balls hit on the ground. A lot of them got through for the Cubs, and of course, Shawn Estes helped out with a couple of free passes.
Well, it's 2 good days in a row for the Cubs, and I really like the fact their approach to Shawn Estes in today's ball game. You know, staying close to that front shoulder, trying to drive him the other way. A team can get real hot after facing a left-handed pitcher like the Cubs did today, and did a great job against Shawn Estes.
Well, Dusty Baker has to be happy. Let's head out to Wrigley Field now and bring in the Cubs broadcast team of Chip Carey and Steve Stone, who are digging in with Dusty, brought to you by Nissan. Gentlemen.
Hi, Gail. Thank you very much. And Dusty, I think Gail took the words right out of our mouth. You do have to be happy. I haven't seen Carlos Zambrano this good. He was magnificent, not just in this start, but his last one in St. Louis as well.
Yeah, he was excellent. And the thing about it, I think he did it under 100 pitches or right at 100 pitches. So that means that he, you know, is getting a lot of first pitch strikes, you know, getting ground balls. You know, we turned you know, a couple of key double plays, and you know, his fastball was moving, and it was electric today, and he was working quickly. And you know, when you work quickly like that, you keep your defense, you know, sharp and ready to field the ball.
And Dusty, you've said many times, and everyone knows that this is a team that's built on power, but today you didn't hit the ball out of the ballpark, still scored 11. They went out against Shawn Estes, and they did a good job of taking the ball the other way.
Well, they did. I mean, you know, we know Shawn. We played with Shawn. And today wasn't a day where you know, I mean, if you guy hit a ball at the ballpark today, I mean, he had to be a, you know, a Hercules. That ball right there that Corey hit, that ball was out of the park. And, you know, we didn't see the ball leave his glove. You see some guys hitting the ball the other way. And you like to see that, you know, you like to see guys, you know, swinging the bat. You like to see them patient. And, you know, think about it, I mean, look at Ramon Martinez. You know, he got a couple big hits for us, and even the guys off the bench can see us. And Michael Bear continues to, you know, to play well. So it was a very productive day for us. and I'm sure the fans here are very happy.
Well, we were sure happy. Ron Santo jersey day. You guys scored 11 for old number 10. We'll take that.
Well, that might have been it, I think. It might have been Ron Santo jersey day that did it, and I know he's up there happy and clicking his heels today.
He did a great job with the 7th inning stretch. And Dusty, go inside, get warm. We'll see you tomorrow for Game 2 of the series.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, Greg Maddux takes them out against Jason Jennings. Greg has thrown a couple of terrific starts in a row, and Jennings, like a lot of these Colorado starters, Steve, a lot of walks, a lot of base hits, a lot of men on base during his outings.
And we're really not too sure if the wind is going to be blowing in tomorrow, but this is very much a pitcher's day, although you'd never know it by the numbers they put up against Shawn Estes. Zambrano was just overwhelming again today. This is one of the real good young pitchers in all of baseball. The Cubs are fortunate to have 3 of them, and you can't consider Matt Clement a young pitcher any longer, but he's been brilliant also. So the staff is doing what you thought they would do. They're going to get Mark Pryor back probably the beginning part of June. Then everybody will be where they should be, and I'm looking for this team to take off sometime pretty soon.
Gale and Dave, Dusty Baker, when he took the Cubs job, said, look, it's going to take me a couple of months to find out just what kind of a team I have. Without Mark Pryor, that evaluation process continues. What you do know he has is outstanding starting pitching from Matt Clement and Carlos Zambrano. It continued today, and Greg Maddux will try to make it 3 great starts in a row starting tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, Chip, you finish up that series all weekend. Hopefully a little bit warmer temperatures over the weekend. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gail.
And, Stoney, we do want to talk about those Lexus keys to the game. I know you talked about Todd Helton, and I think Carlos Zambrano pretty much controlled everybody in that Rockies lineup.
Well, certainly he did, and Helton didn't have the ball out of the infield, but that was nothing new. Very few went out of the infield today. So Carlos held down everybody, and although I didn't hear it before the game, Gail, I know what Dave's key was. If the Cubs score 11 and hold these guys without hitting many balls out of the infield, they got a real good chance to win. And once again, it would appear that Dave is right on the mark.
Well, thank you very much, Stoney. And to add to my key was also Zambrano. I thought today he was going to flip up a gem, and I felt good about it. Really, my key going into this ball game was not only Zambrano, just to make sure that Ronnie and Pat did not screw up the 7th inning stretch, and it was a flawless rendition of the baseball anthem.
Well, they did very good, and we're not going to call them Simon and Garfunkel yet. I think that goes to Chip and I, but although Pat has a great voice, Ronnie was lagging behind a touch, but certainly they didn't do anything wrong, and the Cubs didn't do anything wrong today. It was quite a day at the ballpark.
Super.
All right, Stoney, and I have since combed my hair since being out at the yard earlier today, too, so that's good.
Well, I applaud your bravery. This was a tough day to be at the yard, and what with you on crutches and all, good day to be here, and you saw a real good effort today, a complete team effort by the Cubs.
Great game. All right, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks, Tony.
Bye.
It was a great game. A little chilly out there, and for all those fans out there, yeah, you just need a jacket and a hat.
So you had a helicopter hat earlier, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Huh? There's a little wind blowing.
Yeah, okay.
With the wind blowing in, Dave, really kind of gets me. All right. Let's take a look back at the highlights of this ball game and see it from start to finish, actually. We're going to show you that wind. That's what I'm talking about, Dave. That wind blowing right in. So you wouldn't think there would be a lot of runs scored, but the Falco window of opportunity might have been Shawn Estes taking the mound.
Boy, and how about the window of opportunity right out of the gate? You know, Shawn Estes has been throwing the ball extremely well for the Rockies. As Dusty Baker mentioned, a great approach here, and the Cubs really catch a break here. Burnitz, normally a corner outfielder, has to play center without Preston Wilson. Goes hard into the wall with the bases loaded. Drops the ball. Great effort by him, but that gets the Cubs going.
So with one swing in the bat, Corey Patterson has 3 RBI, and the Cubs are up. If you could read Burnitz's lips there, though, Dave, he said, ouch.
Oh, yeah.
There it is. Ouch. 2 batters later now, the Cubs still going in this inning. Moises Alou, he's going to single home Corey Patterson. It is 5-0.
Boy, there's the approach that I love. Against a left-handed hitter, go the other way. He's not going to pound you inside. He's going to throw that fastball away. Cubs had a great approach today.
Aramis Ramirez driving in Sammy Sosa there, 6-0 Cubs. 3rd inning now, 7-0 Cubs. 2 on for Sammy Sosa. And he's going to find a hole. The single to left makes it 9-0, and that's going to end Shawn Estes' day.
He wasn't able to throw the fastball inside. Cubs were able to just lean out over the plate and hammer him.
Our Just for Men rejuvenating play of the game, Ramon Martinez filling in for the injured Alex Gonzalez as an RBI single to left. 10-0 Cubs. 10 in honor of Ron Santo Jersey Day. And on the other side of the game, Carlos Zambrano was dealing all day. had a no-no going into the
He
fifth.
beats it into the ground.
And then Matt Holliday breaks it up.
You know, 3-1 pitch. Holliday did a good job there, but all day long, Zambrano able to throw the sinker downstairs and then elevate every once in a while. Gale, his stuff is electric. It's like he's throwing a bowling ball. It's a really heavy ball. Everything's on the ground. Didn't have the high strikeouts today, but just a dominating performance by the Z.
So Carlos Zambrano throws a 2-hit shutout, his second complete game shutout of his career. You see that? 11 runs by the Cubs on 12 hits. Martinez, a big day, 2 for 2 with 2 RBI. Barrett, 2 for 5. Corey Patterson had 4 RBI in this ball game. And what can you say? Not much about the Colorado Rockies. It was all about the Big Z, Carlos Zambrano, and Eric Collins caught up with the Big Z right after the game on the field.
Thanks a lot, guys. I'm here with the player of the game, Carlos Zambrano, and you did it again. A complete game, 2-hit shutout. What was working for you today? Seemed like everything.
Well, you know, first of all, I have to thank God for everything, you know, happened today. And, you know, the sooner I came out, I saw the wind blowing in, and, you know, I just have to throw my sinker, you know, out there and put the ball in play.
You're a warm weather guy coming from Venezuela. Do you enjoy pitching when it's 50 degrees?
Well, you know, I tell you the truth. I don't feel, you know, that cold when I'm in the mound, when I'm, you know, hot, when I stretch good. I don't feel that cold, you know.
Your last 2 outings, the Cubs haven't scored any runs. Today they got 11 runs for you. Must have been relaxing for you to have some run support.
Yeah, of course, you know. The time is coming, you know. You can go and, you know, put your head down because your team is don't score for you, you know. The time is coming. I know that this is a great team, and I know they can hit the ball.
And Carlos, your last 2 outings, if you put the numbers together, 16 innings, 0 runs, just 5 hits. Is this the best you've ever gone?
Well, you know, yeah, like I said before, thanks God for everything, and, you know, thanks God for the art that he gave it to me.
Well, enjoy.
Like he walked out of the dugout, saw that wind blowing in, and said, yes.
Boy, I just wish I'd love to have one day with his kind of stuff. I'd love to take the mound. He was electric again, and one of those guys that, you know, when he was 14 years old, he had thoughts about becoming an outfielder. Now he has come on late, 22 years old. His stuff, he throws that heavy sinker down, then he throws that 4-seam fastball up. And the best thing about him right now, he's taking. He's not backing down from hitters. He's going right at him. The Cubs gave him the big lead, and he just ran with it.
Sosa with a couple of knocks today, 2 for 3 to be exact. And Sammy always seems to hit Colorado very well. Looking at his numbers, he seems to hit the best against Colorado in terms of generating RBI and extra bases. You see his numbers there. Also second for him in batting average in the league, 337 against Colorado and 42 home runs. Now he has 47 against Cincinnati, but he loves playing against this Colorado team, especially in Colorado.
In Colorado, it's very difficult to pitch there. Offense loves it. The breaking ball does not break, and it's very difficult on pitchers for the Rockies to make that transition from playing in Denver, where you really have to bust it to make your ball break, and then to go to somewhere else where all of a sudden that slider in Colorado that you can throw for a strike is not a strike because you're trying to grind it too much, and then it's in the dirt. So it's a very difficult place to pitch. And then also it gets tougher on the pitchers when they go somewhere else where the heavier air, all of a sudden the breaking ball breaks too much.
And maybe we'll check out what was wrong with Shawn Estes today later in the show. I know you're going to break that down, but still to come on the show, who is the best man off the Cubs bench? You, the viewer, voted for the Cubs super sub. We've got the results. And Shawn Estes did make a lot of mistakes early on. The Cubs took advantage. Dave Otto shows you exactly how they did it.
Keep guys in maybe a little longer than you should.
Even close up, hair color should look natural. That's why today's Just for Men with X-Gray Science targets only the gray hair.